Okay, where are we headed, guys?
We're headed to the Pine Barrens of New Jersey.
And what are we going to look for?
Wait, we're gonna look for the devil thing?
We're gonna look for the watering hole of the Jersey Devil.
Oh god.
And Deva and I have gone here before, twice, right?
Once.
No, once. I went before. Okay, I went once before on my own, and I didn't find it. I found something that was called a blue hole,
left,
but
then turn right.
It's like a, it's kind of like a lake that formed out of a rock quarry, and there's numerous of blue holes around New Jersey, and you're not supposed to swim in them because they tend to be very cold, deceptively cold, because when you step into the water, it feels warm, but it gets deep really quickly and it stays really cold. So there's lots of drownings because that cold water can, you know, cause your body to go into shock. So the first time I went out there, I couldn't find it. I ran into a couple from North Jersey. We're looking for the same blue hole I was. That's what we found, and they said we're going and swimming, and I'm like, good luck. So, but you're not supposed to. It's highly illegal. But that is not the blue hole we are looking for. We are looking for the actual watering hole of the Jersey Devil. And when we get there, we'll tell you a little bit more about the Jersey Devil. So we'll see you soon. Okay, so here we are. We are driving down Route 422 in Pennsylvania, headed toward the Snoop Hill Expressway that will take us through Philadelphia. Right now, I think we're passing through Valley Forge.
Keep right. Interstate 76 eastbound towards Philadelphia.
So yes, we're heading through Valley Forge. As you can tell, this is a really lovely scenic area. They're doing lots of construction. And see, oh yeah, Valley Forge. I think that would be an interesting field trip for us to take, is to Valley Forge National Park. I do a lot of hiking there. It's a really neat area. So have you got enough of this lovely scenery, Vienna?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we are getting off the exit, heading toward Winslow Township in New Jersey. You can see I have my handy-dandy Easy Pass here, which is very helpful because we are in the middle of a pandemic, and the kids, their school has been canceled because of that. And, you know, fortunately we're not on any kind of complete lockdown, but, you know, we are supposed to you know, stay away from people, stay away from crowds. So where we're going is really in the middle of nowhere. I do not expect to encounter people. Certainly if we do encounter people, we'll keep our distance. So it seemed like a kind of a safe bet to do on a day off. We're not going to the mall or to any crowded restaurants or anything like that. But it seemed like a, you know, a good day to take a trip into the woods, into the absolute middle of nowhere. This sandy road, this is an actual road. This is Inskip Road. It is on my GPS. There is a lot of that around here.
Okay, go now.
Blueberries are one of the things that grow in the New Jersey pine barrens. Okay, this is where we're going in, and we're going to hope that the sand is not damp and that we're not going to get stuck in it, right? Okay, we have to pick your face. It actually looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm not too worried. We're not going to get stuck in this. This is good. Not muddy. Down this, maybe, I don't know, half a mile. So if you're coming this way, you know, you pass, like immediately after that blueberry farm, on the opposite side of the road, there is an archery field. And when we were coming back, we were coming here the first time, well, I didn't find it the first time. That was when I ran into the couple from North Jersey who were also looking for it. They also didn't find it. But when I came back here with Deva, we stopped a couple places. We stopped at the archery field to ask, you know, have you heard of this blue hole, you know, the Jersey Devil? And the guy's like, no, never heard of that. And then when we came back in here, we saw some people parked on the side, and we thought, well, maybe they know because they're back here. And, you know, blue hole, and they're like, no. And then they kind of were like, they directed us to, you know, one of those other lakes that were formed, you know, in the rock quarries. It's on the other side of, other side of the road from here. You take, I think it's Cain's Mill Road. Oh, I see the trail up here. You can see the trailhead. And Cain's Mill Road is kind of funny. It's sort of paved, and then it isn't. And people like, it's like a recreational area. People drive their ATVs back there. Lots of garbage too, unfortunately. So here we do have the trailhead.
Where does the trail start? I don't see any walking room.
It starts a little bit farther.
Is it? It's a little farther in where we park.
Yep.
Deva remembers.
She's got the memory of an elephant.
Are you sure? Well, there's, is that a blaze too?
It might have been.
There was a very clear path when we came back here before.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because, yeah, like I said, it's very clean.
It seems like we saw that, and we got out and we walked.
Don't suppose they have...
We can always turn around somewhere.
Don't suppose they have porta potties here?
No.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Okay, so here we are. We did find the trail. It was a little bit further down than the first blue blaze we saw. But, so you come in, and as soon as you see this trail, can you see the blazes going into the woods down there? So once you find this, you know, there's a pretty clear trail here. There's other trails out here. There's trails throughout the Winslow Wildlife Management Area, which is what we're in right now. And so we're off. We are on the trail. And if you come out here, this is not a long trail. I think round trip, walking from here and back is less than a mile. So, and it's flat. It's sandy, as the New Jersey pine barrens are. Not a lot grows out here in terms of variety.
Oh, sand just got in my shoe.
Sand just got in your shoe. That will happen. But there are certain things that do grow. We saw the blueberry farm. That's one of the things that grow. I believe, what did I read? Raspberries, orchids. Orchids grow in the New Jersey pine barrens, and also carnivorous plants. I thought that was kind of interesting. But one of the things you'll see a lot of is pitch pines. That's why they call it the pine barrens. And they get forest fires out here. And people argue, are the forest fires a good thing or a bad thing? Because if you didn't have them, you know, other growth would take over and you wouldn't have all these pines. And the pitch pines need fire in order to grow. The pine cones need fire in order to open. Okay, guess what? We are here. We found it. This is the legendary watering hole of the Jersey Devil. And late last night, after these guys went to bed, I left them a note taped to their iPad. I said, don't wake me up too early tomorrow, but while you are during your quiet time, somebody, I said, research the Jersey Devil, research the New Jersey Pine Barrens, and be ready to shoot on location in the morning. So was that a rude surprise for you?
A little.
You thought this was your day off.
Yeah.
Here we are. So what did you learn, Deva? You're the one who researched the Jersey Devil.
Yes, I researched the Jersey Devil. All eyes on me now.
What's the story? Where does this
Okay,
originate?
so there was multiple stories, but the story that I read was about it's about a kid that was the 13th child, and he got cursed. So on his 13th birthday, he turned into the Jersey Devil. And there's more stories and legends.
Yeah,
but
the one I read, he was the child of Mrs. Leeds, and this is another name for the Jersey Devils, also the Leeds Devil. And she and her husband lived in poverty. They already had 12 kids. She had number 13, and she made like the curse on her own kid. May this kid be the devil. Now, don't ask me why you would say that about your 13th kid if you already have 12. Having a kid that's the devil seems like it would make things substantially worse. But, you know, that's just me. But that's one of the stories. So at birth, he wasn't on his 13th birthday, but at birth, you know, he like moments after birth turned into the devil and attacked his mother, attacked the midwife, attacked his father, killed everybody. So Deva, after she was reading these stories, had a really wizardly question. What was your wizardly question?
why was number 13 unlucky?
Okay, and I told you, research that. What Big Bird says, asking questions is a great way to find things out. So I asked you to research that.
Well, she researched it,
Okay,
Brianna.
so what did you find out?
I found out that one of the main reasons why it is considered unlucky is because the 13th guest at some table
At the Last Supper with
Yeah,
Jesus?
yeah, the
Are
Last
you still
Supper.
filming? I don't know if you're paying attention to
Yeah,
what you're holding.
okay.
Maybe hold it on yourself because you're talking.
I'll hold it.
Here, yeah, I'll hold it. Okay.
Okay, well, according to the source I found, that the 13th guest on the last who joined Jesus at the Last Supper, at his Last Supper, was the one that betrayed him.
Yes.
So-
Judas, yes.
Yeah.
And also, we were talking about Friday the 13th, which coincidentally is tomorrow. Did you guys read about why Friday the 13th is unlucky?
No.
No. Okay, so yeah, I did. It has to do with the Knights Templar. Do you know who the Knights Templar are? Because
No.
I figure if you guys didn't know what the Last Supper is, you probably don't know about the
I know
Knights
what the
Templar.
Last Supper was.
You know, a secretive society that was charged with keeping the Holy Grail safe. And I feel like I don't even have to ask you whether or not you know what the Holy Grail is.
What's the Holy Grail?
Did you guys ever watch like Indiana Jones?
No.
So the Holy Grail is it's the cup that Jesus drank from at the Last Supper. But Friday the 13th was supposed to be the day that they were rounded up and arrested and put to death. They were burned at the stake. So that is kind of how most people, you know, think the legend of like Friday the 13th being unlucky, where that comes from. And I was also like researching, why 13 is unlucky, and there's supposedly 13 steps to the gallows, and it brings up the question: was it unlucky before that, or were there 13 steps on purpose because it was unlucky? 13 is the traditional number in a witch's coven. Also, one weird thing, I never put this together. Supposedly, women have roughly 13 periods in a year. So I don't know why we would consider that unlucky, but so it's interesting things we found out researching the number 13. So let's go back to talking about the Jersey Devil. What else did you read about it?
So I read that the Jersey Devil has been seen in areas such as New Jersey, sometimes Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Philadelphia area.
Yeah, Philadelphia area. And there have been reports dating back to the 1700s about it, about like livestock being like killed, and you know, hearing blood-curdling screams and seeing weird animals.
Okay, and what was like the description of this creature? Do you remember?
Okay, let's see. Okay, head of a horse.
Yeah, horse or dog or kangaroo. There's different accounts.
Yeah, and like the legs of a kangaroo or something.
Or some people
Wings
say
of a bat.
cloven hooves, like the
Yeah.
devil. Some people say like three-toed, and bat wings. And what about height? Does everyone agree on height?
About 6 feet tall.
Yeah, people have different ideas about how tall it was, and I had kind of a theory. You know, most of the stories that come from like the 18th, 19th centuries. I looked at some of the pictures of this thing, and it reminded me of a picture of a bat I saw. It's called the hammerhead bat, which is native to Africa. And I was thinking, it's not entirely implausible that, you know, say one of these bats could have stowed away on a ship and wound up in New Jersey, and perhaps that's where the legend arose. I mean, we still to this day have invasive species, but I doubt that there was more than one bat that came, so I would have assumed that if that was the case, it would have died off by now. But as it turns out, there are still modern sightings of this thing. Did you read any of those stories about the modern sightings?
Yes, there was a sighting in like 1980, and this guy was apparently out camping, and he didn't know about the Jersey Devil, and he went out early with some friends with, I guess, a motorbike. And the bike stalled, and his friend's bike stalled. They couldn't explain it, and next thing they heard was a terrible, terrible scream. They went back to their campsite, met up with their other friends, and his other friends were like, "Did you hear screams earlier?" So his friends heard the same scream from 4 miles away, apparently. And they went back to town, and they were talking about it with this bartender at a bar, and the bartender explained that, I guess you met our little friend, and it showed them a shredded trash can. That
wasn't there one that landed on top of somebody's car?
Yeah,
and
I read that one.
You read that one. Can you tell me more about that one?
Okay, a cab driver. I don't know if it was during the day or during the night, but he was changing a tire. And then next thing he knows, the devil's on top of his cab stomping on it. And like, that's all it said. It didn't give like any details except for he went to the police and described it. I kind of wish it had pictures because I'd like to see if there was any kind of like hoof prints on the car or anything, but it didn't. That's all there was.
Yeah, somehow amazingly there never is any solid evidence of these things. So a lot of the stories I read that did have to do with things like the campers, you know. And, you know, if you're out in the middle of the woods and it's dark and you hear things that go bump in the night, you know, it's not unreasonable that you might be scared. Now, I had you guys research what is some of the local animal life here that could be, you know, account for some of the fears people have.
Bears.
Bears. There's bears, and what else?
bats. Well, that's what you said.
Well, I have no idea what actual species of bats are out here. Remember
Bobcats.
Bobcats. Yeah, and you know, things like those can be kind of loud and growly and certainly dangerous. And so, you know, you could kind of understand if you heard something rustling in the woods or you heard something making strange noises. You know, you might be worried, you might get scared, you might, you know, your imagination can run away from you. But, you know, I am a dark arts major at something called the Grey School of Wizardry, so we do at least entertain the idea that's, you know, such, you know, kind of mysterious entities might exist, but you know, you always look for like mundane explanations. Now, did I have you guys research about the blue hole itself? I think I gave you some stuff, some reading material. Do you remember we were talking about the sugar sand?
I remember.
What do you remember?
From last time I was here, I remember you said it looks shallow, but it's actually sugar sand at the bottom. So when you get in, so when you step in, it actually is pretty deep, and the sand it's kind of like quicksand underwater.
It's like quicksand now. So the legend has it that the thing is bottomless. So it's kind of hard to tell now. Well, it's, you know, I don't know what kind of video quality we have here. It looks like you can see the bottom. There's like a lot of debris down there, and you know, legend has it that people would go swimming in this, and you know, they'd feel like the cold hands of the Jersey Devil dragging them down. And some people have, you know, the more scientific people have talked about the sugar sand that's at the bottom of this, that it's like quicksand that you could get stuck in. Also, the temperature of the blue hole is, you know, substantially lower than what you would expect. Some people wonder if it's, you know, being fed by an underground stream. Do you want to feel the water at all? No. I have felt it. It's chilly. It's not like you know, like ice cold, but I suppose it could be maybe kind of a shock to the system if you were to go swimming in it. So what else? Also, if you were to take water out of this and look at it, the water's crystal clear, and that is different from there's a lot of like swampy ponds around here. We saw some coming in. So you know, most of the swamp water around here is dark. It's full of debris. It's the color of tea, and the color of the water here is not. So I brought a container. I can show you that. Okay, so I have an empty water bottle. So you look at that. That is like crystal clear.
Here's my water bottle, which I'm
like
still yet to drink.
That isn't opened. You cannot tell the difference. So you know, as we're walking through here, if I see one of the more swampier areas, I can show you like the difference in water quality. But that is crystal clear. There is no sediment in there.
That's cool.
It is cool. It is cold. Feel the temperature. Well, it's kind of, it's chilly outside. It's not that. We've had an early spring. They said that spring has arrived 3 weeks early, and of course allergy season is already, you know, well, I'm sneezing already, coughing, and this is really not not a time when you want to be sneezing or coughing with a pandemic going on. So here we are. We are still in the Winslow Wildlife Management Area. We are not far from the blue hole, the Jersey Devil watering hole. And I was mentioning previously in the video how clear the water is, and I said if I had a chance I would, you know, give you some comparison to you know, other watery areas. And usually the you know, the waters, it's tannic, it's the color of tea. This is you know, again, this is the water you brought with you, but can you see the color differentiation here?
Yes.
So that's the difference. So if you know, really sample any of the other water around the area, it will be this color. So yeah, I came out here looking for this the first time, and I met a couple from North Jersey who were looking for the same thing, and we wound up kind of walking around together. And we didn't actually find this place. We found one of the you know, the lakes that are the quarries that were filled in. And you know, they were, you know, like, what brings you out here? And I never asked them. I mean, they were looking for the Jersey Devil too. So I was saying, well, my academic advisor was telling me about this place, and my academic advisor is Dean Shadowfox, who used to be the faculty advisor for the Defensors, and he was telling us about this place. And I'm like, well, this is cool. I don't live far from New Jersey. I could go there. I could, you know, look for this thing. So I'm telling them about this, and they hear academic advisor, and they go, what school? And it's like, oh boy, the Grey School of Wizardry. I showed them my school ring. You want to pan in on the ring? And they kind of like took a few steps up, and I'm like, why are you people judging? You are out here looking for the Jersey Devil too, so please, you know, let's put things in perspective here. So that is what brought me out here. The water is supposed to have healing properties. All right, so as you were saying, what was your impressions of this place?
Me, it's kind of mystical and scary.
Really? Now, I got the total opposite impression, but when we were here at a different season. Everything was lush and green. I didn't find it creepy at all. In fact, I thought this would be I felt like a great place to go camping. So I went and I looked that up, whether camping is allowed back here. And the short answer is no, and the long answer is no. So unfortunately, no, you can't do that. But I thought it would be pretty cool. If you want to talk about creepy, I do a lot of hiking everywhere, all across the country. And I was just recently in the Delaware Water Gap, also in New Jersey. And I did this long hike out to it's called Sunfish Pond. And now when I got out there, you know, people say when they come here, it's like, oh, there's all this wildlife, birds chirping. When they get out here, it's dead quiet. Well, when we were out here in the fall, there was lots of things chirping. There was little insects, you know, on the surface of the water. Definitely not creepy, but when I went to that Sunfish Pond, you know, I get out, the water's like gray with this mist over the top of it. It reminded me like something out of like a gothic horror movie, but it was so cool. And there the nature got really quiet. But you know, so lots of great places just in this general region to go hiking. Now in the Pine Barrens, everything is very flat. If you like flat terrain, you guys like flat terrain. It's easy to walk on. I actually prefer, given a choice, where I have to do some climbing. I like elevation, so you know, Delaware Water Gap is great if you're ever in this region, in, you know, southern or eastern Pennsylvania or New Jersey, or, you know, in the kind of New York City, greater New York City area. You know, definitely lots of places to hike in New Jersey. I recommend the Delaware Water Gap, or, you know, come down here, enjoy the New Jersey Pine Barrens or the Jersey Shore. So yeah, that's my tourism blog for New Jersey. But it's a really cool place. And you want to also talk about forest fires. They just had a big forest fire up in the Delaware Water Gap out on Mount Tammany, like not long after I had gone up there with a friend from church. So, you know, I can't emphasize enough, we need to take care of our natural places, take care of our earth. These precious resources we don't want to lose. So that is my public service announcement. So yes, I am Ombra, the prefect of the Winds Lodge at the Grey School of Wizardry. We did not say that at the get-go, but that is who I am. So hello, Grey School, goodbye, Grey School. Do we have any other parting words? So until we meet again, my friends, we wish you a very blessed be.
I was kind of hoping we'd see something more interesting.
Don't say that, because next thing you know, we'll see the Jersey Devil and bring it home.
Well, bringing home the Jersey Devil, I think that would be like the mother of all invasive species. Might give the spotted lanternflies a run for their money. Probably not. I have more concerns about the spotted lanternflies than I do about the Jersey Devil. Seeing the Jersey Devil would be kind of cool. All right, so we're on our way out of the Winslow Management Wildlife Area. We'll be headed home soon. But helpful hint, if you want to find this place, it is a little bit off the beaten trail. And I think I mentioned we talked to a few of the locals when Dave and I were out here before. They knew nothing about this place, so that was not especially helpful. If we were not in the middle of a pandemic, I'd like to go, you know, is there a shopping mall around here? You know, stop, interview people. Hey, have you ever seen the Jersey Devil? And see what kind of looks they give us. But who knows? Maybe they would have a story, and that would be like a totally cool thing to do. But we are not going to any public places. So, but if you do want to find this place, I will put some links up with this video. I suggest probably the easiest thing to do is to put, if you have a GPS, put the exact coordinates of it in your GPS. That makes it a whole lot easier than trying to navigate otherwise, because here we are, we're on a dirt road, and a lot of the dirt roads around here are labeled. This one is not, so it's a little difficult to find, but hopefully in the beginning of this video we you know, mentioned how we were getting here, what we were passing, like this blueberry farm up here. This is Piney Hollow Road. This is just past on this side of the road an archery range. You go over, I think it's the Little Egg Harbor River. So hopefully I've given you like enough information that you'll be able to find this. Like I said, it's not especially easy to find, but if you have the exact coordinates, if you can put that into your GPS, it makes it a lot easier. Okay, so we're heading home on the Atlantic City Expressway. The Jersey Devil of legend, you know, it's a fascinating thing to consider. I mean, just like Bigfoot, I think that would be like a great Grey School like field trip to take, to go on like a hunt for Bigfoot. So you know, it's just kind of an interesting thing, and I would like to take this time to thank Dean Shadowfox for, you know, telling me about this. And it's something that I really miss from Defensors Club, which was amazing. Dean Shadowfox's knowledge, you know, is just encyclopedic. You know, is related to defense and just magic in general. What I got out of that club is, you know, it really rivaled even what I got out of classes, because this isn't even like the first wild goose chase that I've been on due to Defensors Club. I mean, I found myself like in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere, looking for like abandoned torn up railroad ties for you know, to make railroad spike boards. And I mean, it's just great. I really miss Defensors Club, and I know Mason, one of the things he's trying to do is bring back clubs and have a club rush. So, you know, the potential of clubs in the school is just really great to take, you know, your experience even above and beyond what you can get out of classes. So I think that's, you know, where I'm going to wrap this video up. Is my final plug. If you're out there, if you're watching this and you're not with Grey School, you know, I highly recommend that you enroll. If you're an adult, you can enroll even for 1 month for $20. Youth can enroll for, I think, $10 a month. You know, check it out. You know, there's so much to offer, and you know, we have great faculty here. Great opportunity for making friendships. Literally, I'm not making this up or you know, exaggerating this in any way, is some of my closest friends have come from the Grey School. Well, you guys know Sean. I talk to Sean every night. I met him through the Grey School in 2010, and you guys know we've had other apprentices from the Grey School come. They've come to our house. They've spent like weekends at our house. You know, there's so much that you can really get out of this school, academically, socially. It's really a great experience, so I highly recommend it. So, you know, until next time, we always say, a very blessed be.